Has House of the Dragon pulled you back in?
Who would make the best ruler for Westeros?
Why didn't the recap feature horrifying images of childbirth?
We'll answer all those questions and so much more on this episode of
The Joffrey of Podcasts.
I've been very busy. Many important matters require a king's attention.
I'm king now. King now.
I am king. I am king. I am
Kiss it.
I am
Kiss it again when I return.
your fingers or your tongue.
Doesn't
Fingers.
discuss
Your
battle plans.
Stupid
Your
girls.
fingers or your tongue.
I am the king.
I'm telling mother.
Welcome to the Joffrey of Podcasts. My name's Bubba, and with me, as always, is someone who abdicated his throne. It's Catfish.
Oh, Bubba, it is a pleasure to be with a guy who's locked me up in my room for my own good. Sorry, I mean for your own good.
Hey, guys, we are breaking down episode 1 of season 3 of House of the Dragon. This episode is entitled Salt and Sea, Fire and Blood. In this podcast, if you're new to us, we're going to dive in deep as well as do some silly fun games like Match Game. We're going to talk about the characters. Are we Team Green this week? Team Black? And we are going to start off with something we don't normally do, but Catfish, our double L's,
Double L's?
our loyal listeners have a wide range of opinions, and I want to get to those at the top. Catfish,
Yeah.
Cam Shay 23 on Threads.
Oh,
Camille,
awesome.
She loved this first episode of season 3. She gave it 9 out of 10 double D's.
Yeah, double D's. Wait, what? Double D's?
Drowned Dragon. She said the episode was intense, exciting, and sad, and she hated to see the dragons go down. While Matt Murdock gave this episode, the first episode of season 3, he only gave it 5 out of 10 double S's.
Double S's?
Sinkable serpents. So, Matt, we're going to get to why he was so down on this episode in a
Holy
bit.
cow. First of all, Matt, a 7 is like a 3 to him. So I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, so our listeners had a wide range of opinions. You and I, we don't talk about our feelings before a podcast, so I can't wait to find out. What is your rating for the premiere of season 3?
Bubba, I gave this episode 9.5 out of 10, what I like to call double S, double Fs.
Wait, double S, double F?
Yeah, sheep stealers, friendly fire.
Oh, yeah.
Bubba,
That's a great rating, Cap.
it is a great rating, but I'm going to tell you what was going through my head through this episode. Blah, 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 all these different people to keep track of, blah, blah, blah. They're going to ramp up the season again slowly, blah, blah, blah. Oh, great. It's all going to turn on a misunderstanding, blah, blah, blah. Do I even care anymore? And then fireworks for like 30 to 35 straight minutes, maybe 40, Bubba. This was epic. So all I can say is if they can do this every episode, I'm in.
Wow, fireworks for sure. Catfish, 9.5 out of 10. That is incredible. And what I love most about it is we're going to have very similar scores on a scale of 1 to 10. But oh my goodness, are we going to disagree about some stuff? Because I'm going to give this 9 double S's out of 10.
Double S's?
Yeah, I'm calling it strong sank. This was one of the other strong boys who to go down. Season 1 ended with one of Rhaenyra's children, with Harwin Strong being killed. Season 3 begins with one of her other children with Harwin Strong being killed. She's got one strong boy left. Do you remember that strong boy's name, Catfish?
Could it be the same name of the best podcast about Game of Thrones in the history of the world, Bubba?
That's right. There's one son with Harwin Strong left. It's Joffrey. He's got to avoid all season premieres and finales at this point. Live on, Joffrey. But the main thing, Catfish, I'm 9 out of 10, and I am just, after all the back and forth, and with this sea battle, I'm just so happy that the Strait of Hormuz is open. Wait, no, sorry. Inappropriate comment.
No.
Yeah.
Listen,
No,
Bubba, we like to keep our podcast evergreen. So just say, so that this podcast works in the future, it's closed, but it's going to be opened shortly.
Hey, So Catfish, you were like blah, 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 talking, and then the fireworks factory started. I want to go before even the episode began. It began with a 5-minute previously on recap. And
Mrs. Catfish was like, man, I said, you want to watch this with me? She's like, it better be a good recap. And I'm like, and after the recap was on, I'm like, I mean, if you don't know what's going on now, I can't help you really, because they were so detailed.
I thought they had to be that detailed. There's so many characters,
You're right.
So many factions. So I love that.
It's been so long.
And I have always thought that for me, the one issue I've had with House of the Dragon, well, I've had a million, but kind of one consistent is these characters outside of maybe Rhaenyra, Daemon, and Alicent, they haven't been well-rounded enough. You've watched the original Game of Thrones. They had 5 Stark kids. Sorry, Rickon, but the 5 Stark kids were all really developed. Sure. You understood all 5 of them. And in this show, a bunch of the kids, we don't even see, you don't follow them. A lot of the council members, you're like, have we ever heard this person's name? But
right.
The fact that they spent so much time in this episode, and you're right, it's a lot of blah, 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 talk.
Well, no, Bubba, no, for me,
good, I thought.
The blah, blah, blah was blah, blah, blah thoughts in my head. Not blah, 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 the show. It was just me thinking thoughts in my head. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah. So it wasn't the show was blah, blah, blah. In my head, I was like, keep saying those things to myself. Do I care about this show anymore?
Right.
Do I want to follow all this? Is it going to be grim? And then bang. So that's what the blah, blah, blah was.
No, I think they did a very good job before the fireworks factory. They did a very good job introducing us to all these characters again in the previously on and in the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Plus, they had to introduce this new Hightower force of Brazos from Andor as Bold John, and obviously Ormond Hightower, who has the tussy mussy so he can smell good stuff rather than stinky riders who've been riding in the rain with horses. So they had to introduce them too, in addition to servicing all the other characters and setting them on the board for season 3. I thought it did a great job. And then let's talk about the fireworks factory. Not enough podcasts, and there are a million Game of Thrones podcasts. Thank you so much for listening to ours. But there are not enough, and we won't be able to, too. The technical brilliance to be able to make this boat fight work when they're never on the water. This is all, done on a backlot. Incredible technical production values that the original Game of Thrones wishes it had in the early seasons. This was a great way to get us all back in. I think everybody enjoyed. I'm making I'm kind of making a generality. I think so many people enjoyed A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. They enjoyed Dunk. They enjoyed Egg. They enjoyed the lower stakes. This show came back and said, lower stakes, look at this damn water battle. Incredible. Just great.
I mean, it wasn't just the water battle, but we had a lot of dragons.
Yes.
I mean, about 5 or 10 minutes into this battle, I was like, holy cow, this is like an episode 9 of any other Game of Thrones season.
Now we should
pull this out the first one.
Right. We should pause and say, in a lot of ways, this was supposed to be episode 9 of season 2, but that season got cut to 8 episodes instead of 10. But you're right. Keep going.
I mean, this is the way to start something off that is a little dark and complicated. Come back with an episode where people say, "Did you watch that episode? It is amazing." If they had shot this, and they shoot a little bit different for TV and films, but if they had shot this for a big screen, I would demand immediately that someone put it up on a big screen so I could see it. It was better than a lot of action movies. I mean, the first episode out of the box.
Incredible. Listeners, we went with our listeners, Camille and Matt, who had wildly different opinions. You've heard our opinion. We love to say we want to know your opinion. If you are kind enough to be listening to our podcast, we want you to build with us and join our community. If you're watching this on YouTube, go down in those comments. Tell us your thoughts. If you're super high, if this episode left you cold, like it left Matt cold, every opinion's valid. If you're listening to the audio podcast, and this is on a podcast feed entitled The Joffrey of Podcasts, search for that wherever you get your audio podcast feeds, reach out to us on social media at PHQ. Tell us what you thought. We are back and we are here for the next 8 weeks. I want to say quickly that we are going to, in just a few 2 short weeks, we're going to be covering Silo season 3. So it's going to be the battle of the season 3s here on the podcast. And we want you, if you're watching that great Apple TV show, futuristic dystopian world of the Silo, join us for that as well. And once again, we love your feedback. So Catfish, we've already kind of talked about it, but one thing we always do on these House of the Dragon podcasts is begin by talking about our favorite scene, our favorite moment.
I'm telling Mother.
Is there, I'm willing to guess what yours is, but go ahead and tell all the listeners, what was it? Was it the fireworks factory? Let's hear it.
It's the fireworks factory. It is the whole thing. I mean, they start off, people have different plans. That's the great thing about it. We're following a storyline as we're having this attack. Okay, we're going to take them through the needle. Ha ha, they're stuck with the needle. And then they come out, and then the crash, and then and then of course we've got dragons being taken down, potentially being taken down, and then actually being taken down. Just the whole thing was just, I was agog, Bubba.
Oh, that's a good way to be. And my favorite moment is actually part of this. I was like you. I was like, this is incredible. But let's give it up. When her ship rammed Corlys's ship, and it was such a wonderful ramming, and his ship starts breaking apart. Literally, go back and watch season 2. Season 2, all Corlys does is work on getting this ship seaworthy. Like, he spends the whole season trying to get this ship ready. We cut to his dock, and he's like, oh, she's almost ready. She's almost ready. In the first episode of season 3, it's toast. That ramming moment, I was like, oh, hell yes. Incredible. And let's just get to it. When you bring an out-of-control dragon, which is doing friendly fire, into a battle, that is chef's kiss craziness.
Yeah, absolutely. We think we know where things going, and then it just takes all prisoners. Wow.
Right. It's like, somebody hit me with something. Everyone must die.
And then, I mean, I love it because it's like, then they're like, okay, we're going to get Shape Stealer. And they're like, no, we can't, because we see who's on Shape Stealer, on Sheep Stealer.
Was that great? They're like, attack. Oh, wait, that's my sister. So good. So, yeah, that was our best moment. There are a lot of other great moments we'll get to, but hey, as we say, listeners, we live off your comments. Go down in the YouTube comments. Tell us your favorite moment, favorite scene, favorite line. I mean, heck, I want to give a shout out to my boy, I want to give a shout out to my boy. Is it Tyland Lannister? There's so many. I always forget. But his, Lothar's like, boy, that armor you're wearing isn't going to go too well if you end up in the drink. And Tyland Lannister said, my strategy is expressly not to end up in the drink. Yeah, it didn't do too well with your strategy there, Tyland. I loved it.
I mean, Lothar was like, nope, sorry.
So
I'll handle this one personally. The only thing I'm sad about is we're not going to see any more of her. She was such an awesome character. So good. Introduced in the last episode of season 2. R.I.P. in the first episode of season 3. No, you're my favorite. We'll get into that later. Well, okay. We keep talking about how this is an interactive podcast, and you listeners are a big part of it. So what time it is, Catfish. The Joffrey of Podcasts, the only Game of Thrones podcast to do a game show in the middle of a podcast. Are you ready for Match Game?
I'm telling Mother.
Listeners, we're going to give you a question with a blank. We want you to answer it. So you ready? Alicent wants her son Aemond to heed her, while Aemond wants his mom to blank. Alicent wants her son Aemond to heed her, while Aemond wants his mom to blank. Tongue him. Well, listeners, if you are new to the Joffrey of Podcast, your answer is tongue him, Catfish. That's correct. Well, I'm going to ring the match game bell because mine was he wants his mom to French him.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
Now, listeners, we put these match game questions out on all our social media channels at Double PHQ. And so, of course, listeners have the best answers. So we're going to see if our listeners can match. Catfish, do you want to read some of our answers? I'll read the question again. Hey, Alicent wants her son Aemond to heed her, while Aemond wants his mom to
ride his dragon, says Patrick DeVero at Soccer Patch 11.
Terrible. Very close to a match there. Okay, a true loyal listener, Nick Fortuna. Aemond wants his mom to take hold of the one-eyed royal scepter.
Yeah. Now, hold on. Another good loyal listener, long-time loyal listener, Dooley's left leg says he wants her to pay closer attention to his one eye winking up at her. There we go. We've got a match.
Oh my God. Tasteless. And yes, these questions are meant to be silly, but we're going to have a couple that match this way. You ready? Nicole, who's at Knife Wolf Nim on Blue Sky, said, Aemond wants his mom to forget this scene happened, like I'll be trying to do myself. Nicole, how terrible.
And who matches with that? It's pretty much Cam Shea 23 who said, yuck, I don't want to think about it. That's a bell, ring right there, ring the bell.
Match. Now here we go. Yep. Matthew Murdoch, our true podcast father, gave this episode 5 out of 10. And it was possibly specifically about this, because Matthew Murdoch, who does great answers on these match games,
horrible.
He went hardcore. He said, Aemond wants his mother to, quote, be the star in a show that, out of desperate need to get people to say something about it, decides to completely forsake any sanity or actual plot or true character development.
Ooh.
Whoa, and have the son kiss the mom on the lips. Dang, Matthew Murdoch is somebody who, for years, was the host of the great podcast Winterfell. He's done 1 million podcasts, and this is heartbreaking to hear Matt had a problem with this. Let's see if we can get Matt to be a guest on one of our podcasts, because he's really well known and respected in the Song of Ice and Fire Game of Thrones community, and it was heartbreaking to see him give something 5 out of 10, Kat.
Wow, Bubba, I'm just concerned. I don't know whether I want him to come on the podcast, because if he starts expressing views like this, people are going to accuse him of being a Trumper, like I have recently been accused of.
Yes, on our last Widow's Bay podcast, somebody left a comment that said Catfish's opinions are so crazy he must have voted for our president. So, okay. Well, that's the match game. Hey, if you didn't see our questions on social media, go down in the YouTube comments or reach out on social media and answer them now. All answers are good. Now, the second segment after match game we like to do, Catfish, is we do a team rundown. We talk about Team Green and Team Black. Which one do you want to talk about first this week? Team Black, which lost a heir and a dragon, or Team Green, which had a little incestuous kiss?
Let's talk about Team Green first to get it out of the way for poor Matthew Murdoch.
Well, okay, Matt really had trouble with that. We were taking a lighthearted look at it in our match game. Do you have any thoughts about Mother Lovin' had me a blast? Catfish, what did you think of that, seeing that moment?
Mother Lovin' happened too fast.
Met a mom crazy for me.
It was gilding the lily a little bit. I will say we don't need him to be any more devious or dastardly.
There has been a thought that people have mentioned in the Song of Ice and Fire community, Game of Thrones community, is when you read George R. R. Martin's novel or book, however you want to call this, Wikipedia type book about fire and blood and about the Dance of Dragons. And a lot of people said that if you read the book, both sides are kind of shady. Like, it's obvious you read the book, neither side really has a case, and neither side should win because they're doing these war crimes and atrocities. People have argued that the show has really gone so pro-Rhaenyra and therefore pro-Black, and they've made the Greens like the worst. In some ways, I think people are wondering, is this, after everything they've done to Team Green, let's make Aemond not only have mommy issues, but kiss his mommy on the mouth. Like, is this just another thing to make the audience say, okay, we're going to be pro Team Black, pro Rhaenyra? What do you think?
Yeah, they really are stepping on the scale for that for sure, because even the Rhaenyra's brother lover, we've seen him do a lot of horrible stuff, but
Yeah.
somehow people seem to still have better feelings for him, and also she disavowed that as well and sort of sent
Right.
him away for that. So yeah, they have definitely put their thumb on the scale. This show's got a green thumb.
Well, some other characters who, boy,
Hmm.
if it wasn't deviant having Aemon kissing his mom, we have somebody with a foot fetish, and the king who would sexually assault people now are a traveling team together, and Larys is just as slimy as he's ever been. Is Larys, when he flips the script and says, yeah, this is King Aegon with me, hey, sell him to Rhaenyra, is he doing that to try to save both of them, to save himself? Why did he give up the ghost so quickly and be like, hey, no, 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 don't take our heads because this is King Aegon? Why did Larys do it, Catfish? Any idea? Or is it he's just so slippery he thinks I can slip out anything?
There is a bit of, for sure, he's saving himself, but it's the right thing to do at the moment. It's gonna save King Aegon as well, and who knows? Maybe he will be able to twist something else out of it. I mean, let's face it. There's no future for Larys and Aegon at the moment,
No, good point.
right? You talk about like of him getting back into power, it would have to be years and years and years. So Laris could come up with some great idea. Look, why don't install him as some sort of, sub king or whatever, and they can still live a fancy life and don't need to be involved in this war. And he can sort of, you know, he can he can help Aegon tamp down the blacks.
For whatever reason, I think Larys is like, hey, we're just going to do this, but I am still on Team Green and still with Aegon. So I
Well,
guess
he's with Aegon, but I don't know whether he's with Team Green.
thank you. That is actually a wise thing to say.
That's why I think he might convince them to use Aegon to help win this war and install Aegon in some sort of sub-kingly power.
No, I think that's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. Let me ask you this. Do you like these two characters? They only had this one scene, but in season 2, they were both, once again, I like them, meaning I think they're enjoyable TV. When they're on the screen, I kind of pay attention because they're two interesting characters. Crispid or cooked King Aegon and Larys Clubfoot. I like them.
I have to say, and I know that it's weird, maybe it's wrong. I just, between like looking at King Aegon and imagining the amount of hours he has to be in the chair for that, I just don't enjoy looking at him.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been disfigured, and it's tough for me to look at him and be enjoying myself. I know you know what? There it is.
Listeners, do you like Larys and King Aegon, that traveling comedy duo? Please reach out and let us know. Well, let's stay on Team Green real quickly. Another guy who, when you talk about they put the thumb on the scale to make everybody dislike the Greens, Kristen Cole is he's been checked out at the end of season 2. He's waiting to be killed, it seems like. Any thoughts about Kristen Cole and his interaction here with Gawain Hightower?
I believe what he's doing is what they call quiet quitting, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so I've got to appreciate double Q, double C, quiet quitter, Kristen Cole.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. And I think Catfish, a signal that he is quiet quitting is, once again, he's Hand of the King. I'm pretty sure that title has been stripped from him. And he was the leader of the King's Guard. Yet when you see him painting his shield, he is painting the House Cole sigil on his shield. He's not painting like, King Aegon's gold dragon and with a green background. He's not painting the Kingsguard. He's painting a House Cole's sigil on his shield. So to me, that is pretty much like, hey, dude, I'm out. I'm out. I've had a good run. Whatever you want to do. Oh, you want to hang him? Sure. Have fun. Good old Kristen Cole.
Hey, he's more likable now than he was when he was pretending to be to be so valiant.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Okay, how about we talk about how all of these greens are shown possibly in unfavorable light. I already mentioned him. We've got Ormond Hightower, a brand new character. His right-hand man is Bold John, who is the actor Joplin, and I can't even pronounce his last name, but he was Brazos on Andor, a great character. And they get a message that says, hey, you're coming to King's Landing. They get Alicent's message that says, don't come, just hang out here. Any thoughts about anything about this character other than he likes things to smell good? Any thoughts about him?
Hey, I got to appreciate someone who likes things clean and sweet.
Listeners, jump ahead 1 minute if you don't want to hear my speculation, but I have read Fire and Blood, but I don't remember this part of it. But I am quite sure, based on the way this scene was staged, to once again jump ahead a minute if you don't want a spoiler. I'm pretty sure that Alicent's youngest child, Darren, was actually in this scene, acting as Ormond's squire behind him with brown hair. I'm pretty sure they're doing a Phantom Menace, like in that movie where Queen Amidala hid out as handmaiden Padme. I think they're doing that here, and so if you pay attention to that squire, I think in the end he's going to be pretty important in a bit. Finally, Catfish, you've already mentioned Lohar, she was never really a member of Team Green. We found out in this episode she was more like a member of Team Lohar. And her brilliantly named ship, the Bitch Fist, #priceless. Anything else you want to say about her? Or possibly drowned Tyland Lannister?
Well, Tyland, you looked pretty as you sunk to the bottom of the sea. And you know what? It just depends on how you want to go.
You want to look good, yeah, when you go.
He looked great.
But Lohar, you were going to say you were going to miss her, that it's sad that we only had her for a short time on the show. Thoughts?
Fabulous. Fabulous character. Just so brash and ballsy and fun. And that's the kind of energy we need on this show.
100%.
Yeah.
I know some people, we got comments way back 2 years ago on our season finale podcast of people who didn't like Lohar. They're like, why are they adding this comical, female captain doing this, acting, kind of crazy when we're trying to get to the season finale? And I wrote back in the comments and I said, well, you may not have liked Captain Lohar in the final episode of season 2, but like they had energy. They brought, some craziness, some weirdness, something different. And I think Lohar
some fun, some braggadociousness. We had a lot of these kind of characters come on to Game of Thrones and spice things up. It can be serious, but also have some characters who've got some flippin' elan.
Wow. Catfish pulling out spell flippant elan.
Well, the elan is ELAN.
Okay, I got that one. Yeah,
and flippin' is FLIPPIN apostrophe.
There you go.
Elan. Okay.
Hey, listeners, what did you think of Team Green? At Double PHQ on social media, go down to the YouTube comments. Let's go to Team Black Catfish. And before we even get to them, let's jump to the end of the episode.
I'm telling Mother.
They quote unquote destroyed the Triarchy ships, but let's go through it. Corlys's house was set on fire, I'm pretty sure. The ship he spent all of season 2 working on has been destroyed. Jace is dead. Drace's dragon is dead. Did they win the war? Did they win the battle but lose the war in this insane ending fireworks factory of the show? Where is Team Black at this moment, you think?
They're down a few pieces. That's for sure. This is what you get when some impudent young
here we go
punk decides he knows what's better than the flippin' queen.
Well, hold on, Catfish.
Mhm.
He's a member of the Queen's Guard, and he's bald, locking her door. Why do you call him young and? Oh, you meant Jace. Do you want to be that bald member of the Queen's Guard when Queen Rhaenyra gets out? Is
No,
that what happened?
if I was her, I'd be like, if when I get out of here, I'm taking your head.
Oh yeah.
I am your
Oh
queen,
yeah.
and you listen to me.
Oh man. Oh man. Okay, so let's get to Queen Rhaenyra. Actually, before we get to her, I'm going to talk about her, but some of her planning. And admittedly, it's shown as Rhaenyra's plan. Maybe it was somebody else's plan. But your plan, who is the big danger on the green? The big danger is the dragon Vhagar, Aemond's dragon Vhagar. It's already killed 2 dragons and one of her sons and Princess Rhaenys, the queen who never was. Like Rhaegar is the big problem. And so Rhaenyra's plan is, how are we going to take out Vhagar? Well, let's send 3 guys who just learned how to ride a dragon last week to kill Vhagar. Are you crazy? I mean, maybe 3-on-1 will work, but that seems absolutely like a poor idea. Hey, let's send Ulf, Hugh, and Adam out to the middle of the woods, near Harrenhal, and just lay in wait and then attack the world's deadliest dragon, the 3 of you guys, the 3 rookies. Hey. Have at it.
Hey, they're expendable.
I mean, they're only knights, right? You're not going to lose a castle owner. Get rid of them.
No, look, these guys just started learning how to ride dragons. The dragons weren't accepting anyone else. These are bonus. And if you lose 1 or 2 of them, you don't have to. That's one less night you have to worry about complaining about where's my castle.
Catfish, you would do great in working in a corporation. You should be CEO.
HR.
Well, all right, let's get to it. Let's go to good old Ulf.
Man.
Sir Ulf, if he became a knight. Catfish, he finds out, wait a minute, I'm just getting a title and a horse, and that's it. Is he right that, hey, I deserve more for being a dragon rider? What do you think? Is Ulf right that the compensation isn't good enough and he should put his resume out on LinkedIn? I mean, what's going on here?
He's right as far as he goes, right? Because they're like,
I think
you can get lots of women, and he's like, note dragon behind me, I can get lots of women. And they mention a couple other things, and he's like, I can get those because I got the dragon. He just needs to take it one step further. I can get a castle because I have a dragon.
Yes, I was very Catfish. I don't want to say anything, but I was wondering if he was going to put 2 and 2 together there too. Like, hey. But how about this? It feels like all last season in season 2, it felt like that was the season we met him. We met him as this kind of drunk guy in the bar who liked to boast and be partier. He ended up getting a dragon, but he was still, kicking his legs up on the table, eating all those birds and chickens and like having a blast. And now suddenly we learn a bit more about, oh, no, I was abused as a kid because some red priest thought I had Targaryen blood. And it turns out I do, which is great. But like, where's Elf's life really going to turn around? Like, is he still, okay, now I'm a knight, but yippee, I'm still by myself, sitting in the woods waiting for something to happen. Hey.
Right. Well, that is a good point. I mean, you would presume that this is the worst job you'll ever have to do. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If your first job is your worst job, you don't have like perspective to say, well, okay, I'll do this one time and then everything else is cake. That's his problem.
Of these 3 guys, they're calling them the Dragon Seeds, the AKA bastards with Valyrian blood. You've got Adam, who seems real pro. Rhaenyra told us to do this. We're going to do it. Ulf, like, hey, where's my dang castle? And you've got Hugh. Admittedly, Hugh's got a wife and kid, we learned in season 2. How do you feel about the 3 of them? Do you like them? Do you have a favorite of the 3? What's your thought?
I do wonder if they will eventually realize, look, who needs to be in this war kind of business? We can go somewhere else where life is easier for us with the dragons and all.
Right. You could go to the Summer Isles and rule there. Like, you can do whatever you want, man.
Yeah.
Like, why am I a soldier for somebody else's crown? Where's my good stuff? Where's my castle?
Yeah.
That's a great question. And I'll just say that Ulf, I was teasing a lot as kind of a slob and a bum in season 2. I've completely flipped the script. I am Team Ulf now. I'm like, yeah, Ulf, keep giving me good TV. Let's get to Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra, at the beginning of the episode, she's like, listen, guys, this is great. I've got a plan. Alicent's got a plan. We're going to take King's Landing. Everything's great. All of her advisors are telling her, you cannot trust this plan. Later on, she thinks, I've got a great plan. Got a great plan. She finds out her fleet is being attacked. Next, if she goes to King's Landing, she's going to find out, hey, you told me Aegon would be here so I could depose him. Aegon's not here. What is Rhaenyra going to do to her good buddy Alicent? But after she's lost another son to the Greens. Ooh.
Well, this is, and I've said this before in this podcast, this is something I hate in literature when something happens because of a miscommunication instead of an intent. Yeah. And it's my disdain for this kind of trope is so bad that yes, I don't like Romeo and Juliet because of this reason. So I just don't like, this just bothers me. I want things to happen because of intent, not because of mistakes.
Well, this isn't quite as ridiculous as some of the season 1 and season 2 things. Like, okay, Alicent said something, but Alicent didn't know all the facts. Alicent couldn't have imagined these things would happen while she was away. So this is more like somebody telling you, hey, the weatherman telling you, hey, guess what? It's going to rain tomorrow. Then the front moves away and it doesn't rain. So.
Right. Well, that is true. It's still, it wasn't the intentional plan.
True. Well, I wonder if Rhaenyra moving forward is going to have a real intentional plan. She's like, okay, everything. I mean, let's call facts facts. I really think when you look at the broad picture, we're going to ignore her first son being killed because that was not part of the battle. But there was the battle at Rook's Rest where Rhaenys died and Alicent lost a dragon. There was this battle at the beginning of this episode where the Lannister forces got killed. She didn't lose anything there. But then here in the third battle at sea, she lost another dragon and another son. So there have been 3 battles. She's kind of had 1 win and 2 L's on her thing. When is Rhaenyra going to get a win? Can she get a win? Or how does Rhaenyra win? She wins by losing dragons and children. I mean, this is what do you think? What would you have her do? Can she do anything? I mean, she can't trust anybody. She can't trust Alicent, even though it wasn't really Alicent's fault in this case. She can't even trust her own advisors because they all tell her she's wrong and lock her in her room.
Well, right, but luckily, at least one of them paid for that, and like you said, if she's got any, if she wants to take charge in any way, the other guy who participated in that plan, his head's got to go too.
Oh yeah, her Queensguard dude. Yeah, nice knowing you, buddy. You had a nice but not long enough life. How about this? How is she going to take, like, she was destroyed when her first son was killed.
Yeah.
Now she's got a second son killed. And Jace didn't listen to her. Jace, kind of did this all on his own, right? He locked her up. He locked her up. And in a phrase that we use on
he pretty much, let's call it what it is, though. I mean, if you locked me up or I locked you up, that's a different situation than the word that we would use is you're being an a-hole. But if you lock up royalty, you're being a usurper. Let's be clear. Jace was usurping her power. He usurped her power.
Well, I wrote here.
I just want to clear about this before I answer.
You're 100% right. Okay, so I agree. So answer.
So how does Rhaenyra feel? Mixed feelings.
Catfish, how could you? How terrible. He's dead, Catfish. Come on. Now, Catfish, we use this phrase on our podcast about the terror devil in silver.
Yeah.
But to me, when you watch Jace, when you watch this actor deliver the lines to his fiance slash cousin Bela, we are ready. We can win this victory for her. Was this not always our purpose? I looked at that performance and Jace's eyes, and I thought, this character is no longer regular Tunes. He was Looney Tunes. He was like, what are you thinking? Catfish, remind the listeners and remind me, did you read Fire and Blood? Did you know what was going to happen to Jace in this?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But so then probably I would say nobody here was happier than me to see the end result of him usurping his mother and his rightful queen. I want to be clear about that. He usurped, and as we all know, usurpers must die.
Well, okay. It happened, right? Like he paid.
I'm just saying probably nobody was happier than I was.
He paid for that terrible mistake. If you make a terrible mistake, you got to pay for it, right? Any thoughts about his soon to be or was to be future sister-in-law slash cousin Rhaenyra and her totally effing up this battle? Like the battle was Jace and Bela could have handled everything on their own, right? Like they did have to watch out for those brilliant scorpions with the anchor on them that would drag their dragons down. But Rhaenyra showing up on Sheep Stealer and setting all these ships aflame, this was an epic L. As big a mistake as Jace. Like if Jace had to pay for his mistake, is Rhaenyra going to have to pay for hers? Because this was a bad move.
You're blaming this on her?
That dragon would not have gone to Dragonstone if it wasn't her. If it hadn't gone to Dragonstone, it wouldn't have seen all the fire and smoke and blood out in the distance, and it wouldn't have flown there, right? So why shouldn't Rhaenyra have some responsibility for this big F-up? I mean, how many of Rhaenyra's ships did she burn?
I mean, I don't know. How would you have guessed that this huge reptilian beast would go ham on everybody? The dragons seem so reasonable otherwise.
Good point. Hey, it treated you so well, right? If you're Rhaenyra, it treated you so well by barfing up a flame broiled lamb for you to eat. Oh my God. Oh goodness gracious. Do you want to speak? Daemon had a very muted role in this. He helped the Tully forces, young Oscar Tully, and he defeated one flank of the Lannister army, and then those winter wolves, those gray beards from the north came down and took care of the rest. Any thoughts on how Daemon's going to react when he has to tell his daughter, well, you're going to have to find another husband? You're not going to marry that guy.
There's plenty out there, right? There's plenty of fish. There's plenty of fish in the sea. In fact, there's probably going to be a lot more fish now because there's a lot of fish food in the water.
Oh, how terrible. I was sure you were going to say there are plenty of fish and your former fiance in the sea. How terrible.
I'm telling Mother.
Well, okay. So now that we've run down the teams, Catfish, we ask this every week here on the Joffrey of Podcasts. Listeners, we want you to play along. Based on this episode this week, are you on Team Black or Team Green? Team, the Triarchy, team, get the hell out of Dodge. Whose team are you on this week, Catfish?
All right, my teen of the week is Rhaenyra.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, that's my teen. Oh, team of the week. Okay, sorry. My team of the week is obviously it's Lohar and the Triarchy. That's my team of the week is the Triarchy. I'm so sad I finally found somebody I could root for in this show who had the chutzpah and that we needed. We need for this show. We need people for just kicking ass and taking names. And now we just go back to mopiness.
Man, they really had Flippant Alon.
Yeah, they had flipping on, baby. The Triarchy. They're like, for the past.
We'll never forget this.
Right. For the past. And then someone's looking down at the later on, no future.
Catfish, that is the first time somebody's picked Team Triarchy here on the Joffrey podcast. That's very good.
I wanted to do it because I don't think I'll have any more chances. All right, Bubba, which team did you pick? I'm not joking. It's Team Triarchy for me. Finally, I got a chance to pick somebody that I want to follow. Who do you got, Bubba?
Everybody knows, if you've been listening to this podcast, when I read the book, Fire and Blood, of the two, once again, the book really shows that both sides are trouble. But of the two, I kind of lean towards Team Green. In the first 2 seasons of the show, I felt the show trying to put its thumb on the scale to make me Team Black, so I went even harder Team Green. So for the first time, I think ever, I am Team Black. And why in the world is it? Well, one reason why I've always been Team Green is I think their characters are much more interesting. Larys and Aegon and Aemond and Kristen Cole. You know, you may not like them, but when they're on the screen, they pop, they do crazy things. Otto Hightower, Alicent, even the dreamer, Helena. I'm like, these characters are intriguing, where Team Black was always kind of so sour and sourpuss, and I didn't think they were the greatest defined characters on Team Black. But this episode, here in season 3, I'm watching this episode and I'm like, boy, you got Ulf, Hugh, and Adam. Rhaenyra, who I thought really hadn't been developed much, but now she's got an uncontrollable dragon with her. I'm suddenly like, you know what? Team Black is getting some characters. Jace, Jace, remember you called him Jace D. Vance after he was attacking the dragon seeds, saying them they're low-board mongrels. And you're like, Jace is terrible. Well, Jace was kind of the worst in this episode, but it was interesting TV to watch. I still feel like Jace's fiance Bela is still underdeveloped, as a character. But now that her fiance has died, this may give her some fun shading in her character to play something. So for pulling their weight and finally getting some great characters to not quite to Team Green level, but to interesting TV level, this week, I'm on Team Black. Put it in the history books. I've switched sides for this.
I'm going to put it in the history books. You're like, who were the bigger a-holes in this episode? That's my team.
Jace, let's go.
Bubba, your euphemisms, they were more interesting this episode. Sure.
I'm telling mother.
You son of a gun. Okay, well, another thing we'd like to do on a lot of podcasts, including the Joffrey podcast, is who is your MVP of the week? Is it Lohara again for doing Triarchy fun stuff? Who is your MVP for season 1, episode 3?
Well, you got close, Bubba. I was going to give it to Lohara for her persistence. Okay. But just based on the body count, I got to give it to Sheep Stealer.
Oh, my
MVP,
God. Oh, my
MVP. Look, he's like, it doesn't matter, green, black, or pink. I'm going to make you crispy.
Catfish, the reason why I'm saying, oh my God, is because Sheep Stealer was my MVP too. That was my MVP. Incredible. Listeners, okay.
We're horrible people.
We've gone crazy. Who is your MVP for season 3, episode 1? Go down in those YouTube comments. We read each comment. We love interacting with you. Catfish,
I'm telling mother.
There's another new section we're going to award this week. What is it going to be?
Bubba, I think this is perfect for this show because the body count is high. So we've got to have the instant or delayed karma of the week, Bubba. Who received the biggest karma bump this week?
Well, if it's okay, I want you to go first because I have a suspicion of who you're going to pick for delayed karma. So who is the karma of the week recipient?
Well, this is pretty much instant karma only because it happened about in 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of screen time. Obviously, I got to give it to Jace.
All right.
Double J, jackass Jace.
Hey, wait a minute. Well, Catfish, because I suspected you might give it to Jace, I'm giving my delayed karma of the week to Rhaenyra for giving birth to Jace.
You know what I like? I like when you look real long term, Bubba.
That is incredibly delayed. He locked her in her room. What a terrible, terrible move. Oh my goodness.
I'm telling Mother.
Okay, well, let's put the balls in the dish. We're going to have a small council debate. Where we
Bubba,
talk
just
about
for those people,
yeah.
who may have not seen the show for a while, do you want to explain what you mean by that?
No, I don't.
All right, just
I'm
right
kidding.
to balls in the dish.
Okay, so if you remember way back to season 1 or 2, that in King's Landing, in the small council chambers, everybody, all the members of the small council had a dish, and theoretically they had to put their ball in the dish to check in and say, "I'm present, I'm here, I'm a member of the meeting." And so that's why we put our balls in the dish to have this.
Okay.
Small council debate. So Catfish, we talked about it, and I think we've already given up our answer.
Yeah.
But we asked it to the listeners too. Has House of the Dragon, after a odd ending to season 2 and a long 2-year wait, and a situation where now not only is it compared to Game of Thrones, but it's compared to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which you very early in the run of season 1 of A Night of the Season 7 Kingdoms, you said, this is the best Westeros show ever. Has House of the Dragon pulled you back in? What says you?
Well, I'm just going to repeat what I said before. It has pulled me back in, but it did it with an episode that is probably it's going to be either the best or the second best episode of the season.
Oh, yeah.
So if we get back into sort of a kind of a slow grind next week, might be a little bit tougher. But for now, it was so spectacular last night. I'm in.
Okay.
What about you, Bubba?
I am totally in. I had a very disappointing, kind of just underwhelming season 2 finale that really, that season 2 had a lot of high moments, but because there were so many kind of head scratching choices in that kind of deflating finale, I did leave season 2 kind of on a lower thought plane of like, boy, what's going on with this show? But they came back. I can't imagine how much money HBO Warner Brothers put into this episode, but oh my God, is it on the screen? You know how sometimes it's like, we spent a lot of money on this movie, but it's just, to whatever, and you don't see it on the screen. They put the cash on the screen. This episode looked incredible, so I'm definitely back.
Incredible. All right, I love it, Bubba. All right, now this is it. Now we've gone back and forth, black, greens. You've talked about a lot of people. Bubba, you've got to answer this question. Who would make the best ruler? Who are you rooting for to take over Westeros and give it peace for at least a good 6-8 months?
Well, I say this as a joke, but I was also going to give this to Sheep Stealer because Sheep Stealer's like, just burn them all. I'll just burn everybody. So I say this as a joke. But when I really started thinking about it, and this also may feel like a joke, but it also kind of, I think, makes sense. How did Game of Thrones end? Game of Thrones ended with, quote unquote, the most knowledgeable person, Bran of Stark, being in charge. There was no Iron Throne, but they put Bran Stark in charge. He had all the knowledge of the past, and he could kind of have knowledge of everything that was happening at that moment. And to be honest, I think if you really watch those final seasons, Bran also had the ability to see the future. So they put the most knowledgeable person on the throne. And I know a lot of fans that the show didn't maybe set that up well, but I accepted it as like, okay, that makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. And that's definitely what I think George Martin has always been planning since George Martin created the whole series by writing a chapter about Bran, going out and watching a beheading. That is what that chapter, that idea is what spawned this whole series. So of course Bran's going to be on the equivalent of the Iron Throne at the end of the season. And so when I was thinking about it, and this episode, she may only say 2 lines in the entire episode, but Alice Rivers, the witch, showing up and coming up and saying, hey, yeah, you do need to get back to Dragonstone. That's where the war is. And of course, that's where the war was with the Triarchy. I was suddenly thinking, we need somebody who has all the knowledge. I mentioned about how Alicent didn't have all the knowledge, told Rhaenyra this is the way it's going to go, and it's immediately blown up in her face. And you were saying how I want people with decisive choices, and this is another, just half-baked choice that's going to end up being. And so I'm going crazy. I'm going Alice Rivers, the witch, who feels like she has enough knowledge to get everybody effing straight. So it's a controversial choice, but that's who I'm going with. The Harrenhal witch from season 2, Alice Rivers. That's my choice. You can debate it, pick your own choice. What do you want to do?
Well, you know what? Let me just say my choice first, and then you can, and then let's do a debate on your choice, because
sure.
Just because that'll be an interesting thought experiment, because we all know, just based on the world and the things that have happened, that it's going to be Joffrey.
Yes, no spoilers, no spoilers. I love it. Okay, keep going.
So no, that's it. So that's fine. So we know it's going to be Joffrey. So, but I'll play your silly little game.
Yeah.
Alice Rivers. Okay, so how is she going to get to the top? First of all, she's not super aligned with anybody. I mean,
She built a connection with Daemon in season 2, did she?
Yeah, absolutely. But she built a connection, but not like super. It doesn't feel like she's super partisan. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's true. But let's be honest. All she needs is for somebody else to lock Rhaenyra in a room. And she's got Daemon and his dragon right there in her pocket.
If Rhaenyra's not around, Daemon is going to take over. So she's got to get through Rhaenyra and Daemon. Okay. And then somehow she's got to have either all the dragons die, or she's got to get some dragon riders on her side. You think she's going to take the new Triarchy, which is Ulf and the bad boys, and she's going to lead them?
There you go. That's not a bad idea. What if she says, Ulf, I got this giant castle over here named Harrenhal. How about you meet the boys?
It's definitely not a dump.
How would Ulf know? He's never been in a castle. You just tell him this is how all castles look, Ulf. Come on. Ulf, you're single. I guess I'm single, or at times a goat.
Look, you just tell him, you tell him, in the future, cars that don't have tops are going to be a lot more sought after than cars that don't. So this castle that doesn't have a top or sides is going to be so sought after.
Listen,
super airy.
It's an open air concept.
I'm telling mother.
All right, Bubba, let's get to it. Let's get to House of the Dragon Match Game 2. All right, Bubba, I'm going to ask you the question, then we'll do the music.
Here we go.
If the Battle of the Gullet was a movie, Prince Jace's film would be titled blank. All right, are you ready, Bubba? I'm going to ask you the question again.
I'm going to mess it up, but I got to get it ready.
Okay. If the Battle of the Gullet was a movie, Prince Jace's film would be titled
Crimson Tide.
Oh, that is excellent.
Okay.
That is excellent.
All right, let's hear it. What do you got? If the Battle of the Gullet was a movie, Prince Jace's film would be titled
Short King. Short King. He had a short life. It's a short movie, Bubba.
It was a short movie.
Yes.
Way to kick a kid when he's drowned.
Short King. All right, Bubba, here we go. Let's read some of these answers. If the Battle of the Gullet was a movie, Prince Jace's film would be titled
Prince of Tides.
Oh, that's close. Crimson Tide, Prince of Tides. That is Nick Fortuna. All right, Bubba. Dooley's left legs. If the Battle of the Gullet was a movie, Prince Jason's film would be titled
How to Train Your Dragon. Badly.
Oh, I love it.
That was from Dooley's left legs. And get ready for this match from Double M Matt Murdock. He would title it How to Train Your Dragon to Swim. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, if the Battle of Gullet was a movie, Prince Jason's film would be titled Gen X Cat Mom says, Mommy Dearest.
Oh.
Are we sure we're not thinking of another prince and queen? All right. And Pat, I'm Patman Spinagle.
man.
Patman at Blue Sky says the movie will be titled A Strong Finish.
Oh, those strong boys. Oh, how terrible. Oh, Cam Shay has maybe the title of the movie and the first song on the soundtrack. She said Jace's movie would be titled Another One Bites the Dust.
And the Art of Imitation says the title of the movie should be The King That Never Was.
Oh, R.I.P. Jace.
We for sure will miss you.
Okay, Catfish. Hey, listeners, if you want to participate, if you want to give us feedback, if you want to participate in these match games, you know the thing to do. Go down in those YouTube comments. Tell us which was your favorite match game answer. Give us your own match game answers to the question. And hey, your thoughts. Are you back in? We want to know. We're going to end this podcast with Catfish Speculation. I have read Fire and Blood. Now, let me say they change stuff from the book all the time. For example, the dragon, Bela, was there watching her betrothed Jace go down. In the book, I'm pretty sure Bela was not there. It was Ulf and the boys were there. So they put Bela there so she could see her loved one go, which is brutal, see her sister screwing up, which is brutal. So they changed stuff. But because I have read the book, I am not going to make any predictions. So Catfish, this season begins with the death of one of Rhaenyra's heir and a dragon. Right now, let me scroll up and look at this.
Now,
again.
wait a second. One thing we didn't talk about. Did I miss this? Haven't we also lost the sea snake? Isn't he dead? Or do you think he's alive?
I don't know how to say this other than to say the next on House of the Dragon.
Oh, I didn't see that.
May spoil it. Sorry.
Okay, I didn't want to watch that. I assumed he was dead, and it was going to be
Alan. Alan taking over. Alan taking over. Both are. So once again, I don't want to say too much about it. I would say it's left as a mystery, but of course, that mystery for me was spoiled on the next time on Game of Thrones.
Well, in any case, I would. Since I didn't see it, I'm going to speculate. He's either dead or he's done with this war business. And so he's going to let Alan take over. What if we had Alan, the Sea Snakes, and the new Triarchy trio?
Oh, there you go.
Let's just go off and have some fun, boys.
They would be smart to, right? Like they would be smart to do it. How about this? Do you know, once again, there's so many characters. Do you feel like, to me, this episode really did make me like Alan a lot. His father, Corlys, the sea snake, didn't treat him well. We all know that. He was poorly. You gave us a life, but you didn't give us your name. That's not cool. But when he dove in and said, "Father," and he went after Lothar, I was like, "Oh, let's go, Alan. Let's go. I'm on your team."
Alan, I blame you.
All right, Catfish, I want some bigger predictions. So right now, I've got Rhaenyra's got Syrax, Bela's got Moondancer, Daemon's got Caraxes, Adam's got Sea Smoke, You's got Vermithor, Ulf's got Silverwing, Rhaena's got Sheep Stealer, Joffrey has his own dragon, there are other kids, but of those, do you see them all surviving the season for Team Black?
Oh, definitely not. But how many more kids can we lose?
Well, that would be a good question. How many more? If by my count, in the show and the books are slightly different on this. By my count, Rhaenyra still has 3 more kids. She's got the Joffrey son, who was once again with her and the strong man. She's got Aegon the third, and she's got Viserys the second. To me, she's got 3 more sons, 3 more kids. I'm pretty sure they were all shipped off to Essos in season 2, which is again slightly different from the books. But you tell me, are her stepkids, I guess, Rhaena and Bela, going to survive? Are the dragons going to survive? Let's hear your prediction.
Oh, I don't. You know what? I think they blew it all out here, and we're going to have a slow burn and not many more deaths until the end of this season. So I think by the end of this season, the blacks will seem like they're almost unbeatable.
Okay, I like that. Now, in the greens, hopefully I have this right. We've got Aemond has Vhagar, the biggest, baddest dragon there is. Helena has Dreamfire, but we haven't really spent a lot of time of her showing Dreamfire. We saw the youngest kid's dragon when we saw Ormond Hightower. The dragon's name is Tessarion, and that kid is named Darren. And we've got Aegon still out there, and without giving too much away, I guess maybe I am by even bringing up the question, we aren't 100% sure that Aegon's dragon Sunfire, which got pretty much destroyed just when Aegon got destroyed, if it's completely dead or not. So any thoughts on the greens? Admittedly, those are three sons of King Viserys, or three sons and one daughter of King Viserys. Are they all going to make it out of season 3 alive? Catfish, what says you?
Oh, I think we could. They did a good job at times setting up Helena because she's got some crazy visions.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody, you're trying to pitch someone with the last name of Rivers to run this because they can see everything, and you're jumping right over Helena.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't think we can't lose her, but we cannot lose Aemond, or all is lost.
Vhagar. We can't lose Aemond or Vhagar. They are.
Now, let me ask you this, Bubba. They seem to have, I don't know if forced is the right word, but they have seemed to be dedicated in this last season to have Alicent and Rhaenyra have a scene one-on-one with each other. Are we going to have another one this year? Even if they're surrounded by other people, where basically they're just like, F you, I can't trust you. F you, I can't trust you. Or are we going to have another scene between the two of them this season?
I would say that in season 2, it felt like the show contrived two scenes to have them together. We had Rhaenyra dressed as a nun, aka she wasn't a silent sister. She was dressed as a septa, so she and Alicent could meet. Then you had Alicent sneak out on a boat at the end of season 2 to meet Rhaenyra on Dragonstone. This show is not going to stop. Of course, they're going to have more scenes together. They're on opposite sides of a war, but we're going to keep bringing these two together. In season 2, we contrived 2 ways. I'll just say that I can't see a way they wouldn't. What do you think? You asked the question. You must have a thought.
Yeah, I think so. Although, again, I don't know how they could do it where it would feel less contrived than it felt last year, unless it is a thing where it's just like somehow they meet on the battlefield or something, and it's just an expression of the break between them.
Oh, I tell you, if you saw the two of them on a battlefield on opposite sides, that actually would be a very powerful moment, Catfish. It would feel maybe a bit contrived as why Alicent would be there, but I'm going to file that away. I think that's a very, very smart thought.
Yeah, file it away. Put it in your drawer.
Okay, here we go. Any other predictions you want to make before we sign off, Catfish?
No, I'm just going to, you know what? I will make a prediction. This is going to be my highest ranked episode of the season.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, let's find out. It's going to be tough to beat. Let's see. Hey, for everybody here at Double PHQ, my name's Bubba. You can find me on all social media platforms with the handle Fitten Trim. That's FITTENTRIM at Fitten Trim on social media.
And I'm Catfish. You can hit me up at G to the man. That's GEETOTHEMAN on Instagram and Blue Sky. And we'll talk to you next time on the Joffrey of Podcasts.
I'm telling Mother.
Okay, I'll stop recording so you can tell us your real thoughts about Jace. I saw the tears in your eyes. Come on.
I mean, I can't believe I said Jace D. Vance. That's hilarious. I'm hilarious.
You son of a...